Hello, and welcome to a Word of Hope for Saturday of the 15th week of Ordinary Time. As I said yesterday, these 2 days are filled with themes of justice from the Gospel of St. Matthew. Today follows directly upon yesterday's call to mercy. And because Jesus stood up to the Pharisees yesterday, they are seeking a way of putting him to death. Matthew quotes the prophet Isaiah in talking about Jesus, how he didn't defend himself so much to the scribes and the Pharisees. As a matter of fact, he just went about mercying as he is wont to do. And quoting Isaiah, he says, "A bruised reed he will not break." Again, this reference to mercy. "A smoldering wick he will not quench." Again, mercy. "Until he brings justice to victory." That's what we hear today. The victory of justice in our world. My friends, this quote from Isaiah points us to the need for justice in our own day. We are hearing about it everywhere. We are hearing the call for justice in matters such as freedom of religion, the Me Too movement, Black Lives Matter movement, calls for police reform, even in the demonstrations that we are witnessing in Cuba today, calling for freedom. There are so many cries for justice, and although many of them are politically charged, you and I, as Christians, must deal with the calls for justice, especially as they come from the teachings of the gospel. We have to be concerned for justice, especially in our worship. Yesterday, I referred to Psalm 40 and to the 6th chapter of Micah, the prophet. Today, I want to refer, in terms of justice, to the prophet Amos, with some of the strongest words in Scripture you will ever hear. In Amos, the prophet, speaking in God's name, says, I despise your feasts, and I take no delight in your solemn assemblies. Even though you offer me your burnt offerings and cereal offerings, I will not accept them. And the peace offerings of your fatted beasts I will not look upon. Take away from me the noise of your songs. To the melody of your harps I will not listen, but let justice roll down like the waters, and righteousness like an overflowing stream. My friends, we cannot pray without being aware of the call to justice. We cannot worship without being aware of our part in establishing justice. It is for the victory of justice that God has sent Jesus into our midst, and Jesus, who is in our hearts, calls us to achieve the very justice he came to bring. God bless you.